Greetings. Welcome back, everybody. And thanks for letting me know that the chat was disabled. I don't know why Zoom decided to disable the chat yesterday, but we got that fixed. And so, again, welcome. I'm William Craig III, host of Daily AI Prompts for Job Seekers. So glad to have you with me today, just as a way of review, if you will. Take a look at what we talked about yesterday, and let's go ahead and share and stop sharing that. I did. Let's go ahead and share my other screen, which is over here now. Alrighty, and good to see you, Sally. Oh my goodness. Alrighty, and Jody and Michael, and we're going to share screen number 4. All right, and you should be seeing screen number 4. And we've got a lot going on with screen number 4 at this point because we're 2 days in to what we what we started here. And Mary Mac's resume, for those of you who were here, we uploaded a resume. Mary Mac is an accounts receivable, accounts payable specialist. And we started out with a prompt that said, based on the attached resume, list 3 realistic core career goals for the next 5 years, then rank them by importance and suggest one first step for each goal. And the reason we did that is because this series is designed to be comprehensive in that it's taking you all the way from the very beginning of your job search or job campaign, as I like to call it, all the way through the end of, hey, I got the job and now I'm trying to get a promotion. So look forward to being with me a while. And yes, these are going to be recorded. And I used a different platform on Monday, which was really cool. It was called StreamYard, and seems like a little bit more automatic than Zoom. Both have a lot of moving parts. StreamYard actually has more moving parts, but it seemed to work better with the LinkedIn system because once everything was done, the recording was posted and it's still there. Got a lot of views, over 100 views. Um, the Zoom piece, though, didn't seem to work as well. I'm trying it out again. I'm going to try it out again tomorrow. In fact, there's another platform that I may be using. If I do, I'll let you know on Friday, but it's kind of a combination of the two platforms, but half the cost. I could just be transparent. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm giving it a test run later on today. But in any event, this the idea behind this series again is to give you one prompt a day. And on Monday we had some folks that were doing this along with me, and that's certainly a good idea. You can certainly do that yourselves if you choose to follow along with me and have your computer open. And uh, by using one prompt a day, we defeat overwhelm. And, we've talked about this now a couple of days. People have shared the fact that, yes, William, I have seen those posts where there are 100 prompts on a sheet. And quite honestly, most folks are not going back to the sheet. It's a bit overwhelming. They're in no specific order. And so this again has been designed with you in mind, you, the job seeker in mind, to say, hey, here's how we're going to go from, well, step by step using artificial intelligence prompts. In this particular case, I'm using ChatGPT. I also use Manus.im and starting to do more with Claude, Perplexity, and then there are a couple of other tools in video.io that I use to create videos. And there are others, quite honestly. They're about, I've got about 10 solid tools to do different things. But the idea here is to get you started. And as we go along, we or as we went along, we moved from the career goals. And let me just say this again, just for review's sake, by creating your career goals, it helps you get to a place where you know exactly what it is that you're going for. And just uh, this was the first goal that ChatGPT gave us based on the prompt that we gave it, that Mary should be looking to secure a permanent senior level accounts receivable, accounts payable position at a mid to large corporation. Why? Because Mary has demonstrated strong performance across multiple contract and seasonal roles with quantifiable success managing multi-million dollar accounts. A permanent role offers stability, benefits, and a clear path for advancement. And so for some of you who are out there who are doing contract work, or maybe you've had a lot of temporary jobs, and you're saying, man, it'd be great to really to land that permanent position. Uh, this is a goal, and it gave us the first step that Mary should take. Update LinkedIn and resume. Well, the resume is solid, but LinkedIn to highlight achievements using quantifiable data. For example, reduced outstanding balances by $40 million. This is something that comes right off of Mary's resume. And target companies hiring for senior ARAP roles. Begin applying through internal referrals or reputable staffing firms. And we went on, we looked at others, and then at that point, we actually asked ChatGPT to create a roadmap for Mary. Because now that Mary's got some solid goals, 3 solid goals that she can work on over the next 5 years, here's the roadmap and the things she would do in year one, the things that she would do in year two, year three, year four, and year five. And again, you can go to my profile, click on activity and events, or you might just see events. Click on that, you'll see the video from Monday there. And then it gave us some bonus tools. And I said, yeah, at this point, that's good, but let's identify some companies because it said one of the first things she should be doing is looking for some full-time roles at companies. So, hey, why don't you give us a leg up here and identify 5 companies that are hiring for these senior ARAP roles in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area? And of course, Mary is a fictitious character, but we just imagined that she was in Dallas. And then it gave us companies. And it gave us the information, it told us where the information could be found. And this is what's way cool. It even created an actions table. I mean, really, how cool is this? And again, this is when I talk about using AI as your assistant, not as your replacement. Many people are poo-pooing AI, if you will. That's a real technical term. They're poo-pooing. They're poo-pooing AI because they're saying, well, you're cheating. You're trying to replace. No, well, I'm not trying to replace me, okay? I'm trying to enhance my ability to do the work that I do. And in your case, as a job campaigner, a job seeker, you should be looking for tools that can help you to save time, be more efficient, and enhance your job search or job campaign capabilities. All righty. And so then we went into yesterday, we took it up a notch. So now that Mary has some solid goals to work towards, let's create a mission statement that links Mary's known values and professional purpose. And then it came up with the mission statement. I'm not going to read it, but the bottom line to it is now Mary she has material or content for her elevator pitch. She's also got material or content for why do you want to work here? Or, um, oh, why did you apply for this job? However they ask it, it's the same deal. And Mary can now speak to things from her personal mission statement that align with that company. Hope that makes sense. If that makes sense, put a 5 in the chat for me, please, since the chat is now enabled. Okay. Put a 5 in the chat and let me know that makes sense. Okay, fantastic. The chat is working. I appreciate it. All righty. So then we went on because one of the other great uses of this is to create a compelling LinkedIn About section. And I added using emojis where appropriate. Be sure to add a call to action at the end because you want people not just to read about you, but to doggone it, get in touch with you. We want to say things that draw an employer in. This idea of just putting stuff out there. Hey, I'm out of work. I'm looking for a job. If you know anything, if you know about anything, please send them my way. Or no, you need to be posting articles and creating posts that speak to you as a subject matter expert with what you do, so that when and if a potential recruiter, HR professional, hiring manager comes across your profile, they will see something that says, whoa, I need to be talking to this person. All right, that's the idea here. So we went on and it gave us a wonderful edition, if you will, or iteration of what we asked it. It was only 1,243 characters in length, and we had it checked to make sure it was within the 2,600 character limit for LinkedIn's About section. And as I shared with the audience on yesterday, that if I were doing this for real, I would have it expand and use as many of the 2,600 characters as possible. You can take a look at my profile as an example, and I think I'm right at 2,600 or 2,599. But again, they give you these characters, so utilize them. All right, because at this point, remember what my company mantra is. We help you get hired by making your outstanding stand out. Because other people that are going to be applying for the same job, guess what? They're outstanding at what they do as well. Now, maybe not all of them, but many of them are. And if you're outstanding and they're outstanding, well, what's the difference? So we have to make your outstanding stand out. And so that's where we left off yesterday. Let me go over here and grab my prompt for today and booyah, copy. And we can get rid of that now. All righty. And I'm going to paste in. Here's the prompt for today. So Mary wants to explore both local and remote roles in the Tampa, Florida metro area. Using the attached resume, identify 3 job roles Mary qualifies for that should be with companies, uh, that's where the companies which are currently hiring. All right. Mary qualifies for with companies which are currently hiring. Create a comparison chart of pros and cons and identify potential companies for each tailored to her background. Now, this throws in probably another little uh, widget, if you will, for some of you, because the pros and cons. Now, let me bring you guys over here off of this screen in front of me so I can see you. There you are. Okay, good to see all of you. Hey there, Pamela, Donna, Nadia, Lorette. Good to have you all here with me today. And so, how many of you have ever in your life worked at a company, got a job at a company, and then said, boy, what was I thinking? Right? Or I wish I see Jay Richardson. Yeah, I see Michael nodding, right? Or wow, I wish I had more information before I jumped into the fire, right? And here I'm going to pop out the chat and put that over here. Um, yeah. Um, so we can ask chat for our pitch based on our resume. Absolutely. Absolutely. See, we talked about this a little bit yesterday on how we're training. And I'm gonna do probably maybe, I don't know. I don't want to do just a video. I think the live demos are best. You guys let me know what you think. Michael's giving me a double thumbs on that, thumbs up. So I have to see where we can fit it in. Maybe an evening or maybe a Saturday morning or something. But I really want to show you guys how to use ChatGPT and how to train it. Okay, I have trained my chat so that when it is creating things for me, it answers like me. And I created a knowledge base for it to learn about me. And I can show you all how to do the same thing. Because one of the neat things is we talked to you about definitely using ChatGPT or Claude or any of these other AI tools, but you want it to sound like you. Everybody get that? Right? Because you should be going in and editing information. You're not just using it necessarily straight out of the box, so to speak. So you're taking what it gives you and then you're tweaking it. You're putting your flavor, you're putting your spin so that it sounds more humanoid, if you will. And so there are several things that you can do to do that. But I've got 15 minutes, and so I don't want to keep you all over time today. So we've got our new prompt for today. Again, we're saying Mary is looking for remote and local roles in the Tampa area. We've already got the resume in there from a couple of days ago. And that's the neat thing. As long as I stay in this thread, then chat is going to remember all of the information. I could come back 7 days later. I come right back to this particular session. And guess what? It's going to remember everything that we have done in the past. And at the end of the day, what I will do that I haven't been doing is I'll copy right up here at the top. I'll copy this link for you and put it in the chat, and you guys can revisit this when it's convenient for you. All right, is that a good thing? Anybody want me to do that, or is that a waste of time? Let's see here. Um, makes me okay. Don't know. Well, if you are interested, okay. Gina says please do. All righty. So I'll definitely do that. All right. Looks like there's a little bit of a delay. No worries. All right. So here we go. Let's see what chat comes up with for this prompt where we're not only getting some job roles, but we're identifying some companies and we're doing a comparison chart of pros and cons tailored to Mary's background as an accounts receivable, accounts payable professional. And okay, it's showing us here are 3 job roles Mary qualifies for in the Tampa metro area, local and remote options, tailored to her ARAP background. Each includes a comparison chart of pros, cons, and suggested companies. What was that, about 3 seconds? Oh my gosh, it would have taken us hours to do this. So first job, the accounts receivable supervisor for credit and collections at a company called Insight Global in Tampa, Florida. The pros leverages Mary's deep experience in large volume accounts receivable, mentoring, and DSO reduction. Now, I got to admit, I don't know DSO. That's an accounting term I don't know. On site supervision role provides leadership visibility. The cons likely high pressure collections environment may require strict call quotas, less remote flexibility. How cool is that? That you can actually see what some of the possible hurdles may be before you jump into the fire. All right. And then company fit. Insight Global is actively recruiting for an AR supervisor to support the commercial team, minimize credit losses, and maximize return on cash. Now, this is powerful right here because what is this helping you to do? It's helping you to create a business statement as to what you're looking for. Remember, when companies ask about what you're looking for, and I see this with this new thing with the open to work posts that they created, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. They don't care what you're looking for. Okay? What they care about is how you can help them. That's what they care about. So now, as you approach this company and say, even if to the point where it's like, well, why are you interested in working here? Well, my understanding is that Insight Global is looking for someone to support the commercial team, minimize credit losses, and maximize return on cash. And I believe I'm your gal. I believe I'm your guy. This is what I live for. Okay. And you can back that up based on, again, and I'm not going to go back up there, but the other information that's already given. All right, let's move on to the next position. Senior AP analyst for a company called SMX. This says it's a remote position. Pros, fully remote. Oh my goodness. How many times have you seen a job posting and it said remote only to go and read the fine print and they want you to live in the area where the company is? Right? Right? So this was telling us fully remote, aligning with Mary's toolkit. In other words, she worked with Deltec Cost Point and has AP expertise, has steady hours with work from home flexibility. The cons may be more transactional than supervisory, limiting management growth, lower mid-level salary. So a couple of things. Number one, lower mid-level salary. How many of y'all have ever felt like you've been working for peanuts, right? Working for donations, right? Doing three jobs, but getting paid for half a job. Can anybody relate to that? Huh? Right? So, so it's telling us right up front, it's a lower salary. Also, remember, this is important, limiting management growth. Why is that important? Because remember, it gave us some goals that Mary should be working towards. And one of them is getting into a role where finally gained some supervisory experience. Okay. So again, that's why this is so valuable a tool for us because we can literally go in and take a simple prompt and ask ChatGPT, Claude, or any of the others that you may choose to work with to give us the information that's going to help us. Because I'd rather do this that took approximately 3 seconds for it to do. And if I weren't running my mouth, probably 5 minutes to read versus going out, spending a half hour trying to put together a resume, maybe an hour to customize a resume. Pamela, I see your hand. Give me just a moment. Customizing a resume for a job that's probably not going to be a good fit. Does that make sense to anybody other than me? Right? All right. Sure, Pamela, come on off mute and let's hear your question. You can't unmute yourself? Hang on a minute. Let's see here. You should be able to unmute. Let me see if that availability. Oops, went to the wrong thing. Participants. Allow participants to unmute themselves. There you are. I apologize. Go ahead,
That's
Pamela.
okay. No, real quick. When it's pulling up this information, is it pulling it from all the recruiting sites?
Well, first of all, it showed us at the very beginning. Um, it flashed up here where it's getting the information. And here for this job, there are 7 sites. First of all, is going to Insight Global's main page.
Okay.
So, I mean, and that's the one I would certainly be leaning into. With regards to this position, it's not telling us where it got this particular information. Um,
Yeah, that's what
and
I saw. I didn't see the Insight Global, but in the other two, I didn't see any reference. So that's all I was curious about.
no worries, I'll ask it. All right. So give me a
Okay.
moment to finish going through these and then I'll ask it. All right. So let's see here. Company Fit, SMX seeks accounts payable analysts to perform AP activities, including three-way matching and coding, working remotely from Tampa. The next job, accounts payable specialist, a hybrid position with Holland and Knight LLP out of Brandon. Prestigious law firm, good benefits, hybrid flexibility, supports Mary's AP accuracy and process skill set. Cons, branded as specialist, again, which may not highlight leadership. Commute to Brandon requires a few days a week. And the company Fit Holland and Knight is hiring a hybrid AP specialist in Brandon, ideal for managing invoices, batch balancing, and checks. And then here it gives us the chart for each of the roles, where they're located, the pros and the cons. And again, this is really cool because you can just click here to copy the table and you'll have it. So are these right for Mary? AR supervisors, the boldest leadership move, building on her AR mastery and team mentoring strength. Senior AP analyst offers more remote lifestyle, or I'm sorry, a remote lifestyle plus the use of ERP systems, great mid-career growth. And then the AP specialist hybrid position provides prestige because it's a big, well-known law firm. Ideal if she prefers excellent benefits and partial office time. Next steps. All righty. This is really cool. But let's get to Pamela's question here. Um, Chat, I noticed that oh, and I'll do jobs two and Well, first of all, update your memory. And this is where I'm teaching it now. Update your memory to always include source information. Did I spell that right? Yes. So I'll go back up here, please. Provide this information and update your memory to always include source information. So let's see what it says, Pamela. Should give us thank you for catching that, William. Here's the updated source information for jobs 2 and 3. Alrighty, so source, Indeed posting, and SMX accounts payable analyst, job summary, we already talked about that. And then source Holland and Knight careers page. So the only one that we might have quote unquote an issue with is this one because it's been found on Indeed, right? We all know that Indeed's not necessarily the best place, but what do? We know the name of the company, so we would go to SMX's career page and we're looking there to see if the position is there. If it's not, what do? We reach out to them. We say, hey, I saw this job posted on Indeed. Is this real? Is it live? Is it closed? What's the deal? And they can let you know. Now, in some cases, remember, some of these companies will use uh, job boards. They will use Indeed. They will use LinkedIn. They have subscriptions. And so they are trying to see if like the Indeed advertising really works, right? You've seen those commercials, you need to hire, you need Indeed, right? And you can have qualified people, you can be interviewing qualified people in 24 hours, right? So some of them, they'll give them a 30-day free account, whatever, to test it. So some of them may do that. But in other cases, what you'll find is that maybe the listing is actually expired, but it's still there. Maybe they scraped it from somewhere, or even the company site, weeks ago, but it's still there. Why? Because it's trying to get you and you and you and you to look at it. And now they can say, oh, we've got 85,000 people an hour looking at postings. Go ahead and advertise with us, Mr. Employer. Okay, that's the business they're in. They make money off of advertising. That's why it's free to you and subscriptions. So again, you always want to, it's sort of at the bottom of the reply. Um, who is that? Donna? Donna, come off mute and tell me what you're seeing because we didn't see any. Oh, right here. Okay, never mind. Uh, so accounts receivable, accounts payable. This was the senior AP analyst. Senior accounts payable. Okay. But I really think that, and these are general that I'm seeing here. I really think that we did catch it because it even said, thanks for catching that. So I believe for those last two, it did not specifically provide sources, even though it has a sources section here. What you'll see is that majority of those are just general AP or AR job listings, and that's fine too, because that helps you out. But again, we want to make sure that it does what it needs to do for us and gives us the information we need in real time. And now this is what I was going to mention. I've now updated my memory to always include verified, and that's the word we want to see. All right. I just got the little goosebump thingies right there. All right. Verified source information, and it's telling us URLs or references when providing job leads or company listings going forward. Let me know if you'd like these roles added to a tracker or if you need custom application materials next. All righty. Well, I get hidden links that looks to be legit, but redirect to other sites. Phishing. Yeah, again, but as you see, Michael, this is the way we do it. All righty. And I promised you I would take this link and put it in the chat for you all so you can revisit everything that's been done over the last few days. And I'm going to keep this particular thread going, if you will, this conversation. So there's the link in the chat. Donna says, agree, much better to have a more specific reference than the bulk list. Interesting to know how chat selects this is the beauty of AI. This is the beauty of AI. And I've got an AI tool that I use. I mentioned Manus.im that I use that actually, it doesn't just give me information. It actually does things for me. It actually does that. You hear what I'm saying? It actually does things for me. And there's a new tool that I'm working with, I'm playing with now that, let's just say I want to take a trip to Miami. And I say, I want you to check out the best prices on a round trip direct flight from Dulles International to Miami, whatever the name of the airport is in Miami. Not only will it go and it find that information and ask, well, it'll ask me questions first. And for example, what time of day do you want to travel? How many people will be traveling, et cetera, et cetera. But then it can actually go, and if I give it permission, it can actually go and make the reservations for me. Okay. And so we're getting to a place where, just like what we just did here, not only will it find those, it will actually say, would you like me to send your resume, forward your resume to the company on your behalf? That's where we're going. And when I say we're going, we're already there. I just got to learn how to do it in all transparency. But I've got another tool that I'm playing with right now that actually does these things. And my man has actually created a website for me. I told it what I wanted. It got all the information and built the website for me. All righty. Listen, I saw you say, wow, Jay. Uh-huh. Wow. Listen, I gotta go. It's 12:31. I went a little bit over, but I wanted to answer your questions. Hey, try and log in a little bit early, a few minutes before time if you can, and we'll get this thing started. I won't take as much time with the recap going forward because I'll just share the link starting tomorrow. And I'll be playing around with some other tools, and I'll let you know what I decide on. Today's Zoom session went pretty well on what is this, Zoom. We'll see if it posts the recording. If not, then I'll post it on my profile, and you'll be able to see it there. All right. Stay safe, everybody, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for joining. Bye bye now.